Hey, I love that song, Pretty People. Okay, we have pretty people on today, and I know you are one of them. Hey, pretty people, how are you? Hey, Alicia. Hey, Christine. Hey, Georgia. Leela, I'm so excited. I love when you hit me in the chat. You let me know that you're on, where you're coming on from. We just appreciate you. Dayshell, wow, I haven't talked to you in a while. Patricia, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm super excited, and I want you to tag your guests. Tag your beauty consultant. Welcome to Pink Table Talk, episode 34. This is the happy place. It is definitely a place where you will definitely come in one way and leave even more inspired. Women empowering women, sharing stories about how we do life and do it well. And so I'm excited to have someone who I consider a friend, someone who I've learned so much from. She is so wise on so many fronts and busy as we all are. And so you are going to love that you get a little bit of time. And she's on the East Coast. So can we just give a shout out for the East Coast? Because that means that she is it is 9:04 there. Okay, so can we just give a shout out? I'm going to bring her to the stage. My name is Katrina, and I'm your host today. I'm National Sales Director with Mary Kay, and I love this journey for the past 34 years. 34 and 34. There's the number again, double reference. So let's just bring this powerful woman of God, powerful leader to the stage. Hey, 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 we are giving you a round of applause now. Hey!
Hey,
I love it. So happy. It's a bundle of joy. What was the best part of your day today?
Oh my goodness. I think this is going to be my best part of my day, but I actually just got home from a 5-star resort, and it was over the top service. It was amazing, incredible. It was a little sad to leave it, but I'm so thrilled to be able to share tonight and to bring some happiness, joy, choices, and empowerment to women who are looking for more.
I love it. I love having friends who just say, just last week, it feels like last week, we were on a 5-star cruise or a 10-star cruise. And, I just came from a 5-star resort. Like, no big deal. Okay. This is life. Okay.
This is our life, right? Yes.
Is our life. So I'm super excited. Well, Auri, welcome to Pink Table Talk. And as I was talking to Dorothy, our production assistant in the background, I said, we've been Zooming for a while. And I told, we always give a little bit of background sometimes, make sure people don't have tech issues. I said, I think that what we're doing today, I think I got this from Auri way back in the midst of the pandemic. So thank you for the example and for how you literally were a part of transforming our sales force in the midst of the pandemic. And just, I just see you as a bridge between the old and the new and the best of the best with all of that. So let's start talking about who you are at the core. Like, I really want to know, I love when you describe yourself as a soul on fire with a mission to impact women. Where does that fire come from, Auri?
Oh my goodness, that is such a phenomenal question. At the core of who I am an encourager, and I was created by God to be an encourager specifically to women. And it started at a very young age, at the age of 7, when my father was incarcerated right before my face. I watched the FBI take him away. And my mom cried and cried and cried. And what mother wants to explain to her 7-year-old what's happening? But every day I'd be like, Mom, what's going on? Explain it to me. Tell me. And she'd be like, nothing. But I remember the third day I prayed. And I was like, God, she has no one. She has no family. She doesn't speak the language. She doesn't have a license. She had come from Puerto Rico. My dad was an immigrant from Cuba, living in Miami, Florida. I was like, God, please help her understand that if she would just share with me, maybe something would be different. Nobody wants to see their mom cry. So I walked in and I was like, Mom, can you please tell me you have no friends, no nothing? And she tells me this terrible news, right? And the Holy Spirit shot me with an arrow. Like, instantly, I was like, she explains to me what's going on, and that we have no money and we have no way to pay for the house. We have nothing. I was like, I know what we're going to do. And that exact moment, our new home business was birthed. We started cleaning homes. And the private Christian school my dad had put me in, I was like, those people have money, Mom. I can ask them if we could clean the house. You already clean. I can help you. You can teach me. And I just every day I would ask people, oh my gosh, we're cleaning houses now. Can we clean your house this week? And I mean, I thought I was good. I just realized now I was a cute little like 7-year-old with chubby cheeks. If I have chubby cheeks now, they were really chubby back then. And I realize now looking back that God was creating me to be an encourager of women. I have never I've never picked on a woman in my life. I don't believe in it. I don't believe in pushing in people's buttons. I believe we're here that our words create life and that we're here to edify people and speak life into them. And women need that. And he wired me uniquely and gave me a lot of practice as a child to be an encourager to my mom in a very difficult time and season. And so it sets my soul on fire to see a woman in a situation that she wants her life to be different for herself and for her children. And to me, at the core of who I am, I'm an encourager. It's actually like my only title I have on Instagram, Born to Encourage. That's me at the very core. And it came early. And I think so many times we think our burdens are there to bury us. And really, I believe that our burdens is where our dreams are born. Out of our burden, like I see people who out of a burden, a great cause was found, right? Well, my burden, I saw my mom as a single woman get taken advantage of, and it seared me. Like I was like, no, I wanted to empower women and encourage women. And so when Mary Kay came in, I didn't see any of that. Actually, I didn't realize it till I had become a national that I was like, wow, God had been preparing me from the time I was 7 for this position.
Wow. I mean, you just said so much, and now our souls are on fire. Aren't you on fire just hearing that story? And so just walk us through. I know you went from working as an actuary, which I only know what that is because I worked with one for a while and I was like, oh my gosh, this is like intense. I don't know how I understood it. So first tell people what that is, but walk us through how, from 7 years old cleaning homes, how do you end up as an actuary? And then how do you end up as a self-employed businesswoman in Mary Kay?
Oh my goodness, this is such a great question. So as an actuary, you calculate financial risk and you put a price tag on it. So I got a degree in math, finance, and economics. And how I ended up there was my mom got a job cleaning, doing maintenance at this private Christian school so we could go to school there for free. So like, you don't belong there. Like you're not like these privileged children with these families that have opportunities. So I felt like it couldn't just be enough that she cleaned the school. I needed to add merit to the school. So I showed up with all the excellence that they wanted and required. And I put my soul forth towards studying and providing the best grades I could. And, I gave forth a lot of effort because I didn't even speak the language when I got to the school. I only spoke Spanish. I had to learn English, even though I was born here. But I wanted to do well. So to me, I thought if I do well, there's no way they'll fire her. That's just what I kept thinking. So it created this passion in me to want to learn and do great things. So I praised God for it. I was hungry for A's, and God allowed me. I always prayed, but God allowed me to always get those A's. And every university I applied to, I had a full scholarship for. I was just telling the story today. I was accepted to University of Miami's pre-med program for their 6-year program, and with a full ride and everything. The only reason I didn't take it is because I was afraid that if I couldn't make it through medical school and I had no support system, no one to coach me, I didn't know that there would be tutors or people there to help me. I had no idea that if I didn't make it through medical school, if I failed, I wouldn't be able to pay for the school. And now I'd have a failure on my record and no other university would accept me. So I had to pick something that I knew I could do and get an A at it. So that's why I picked math of all things. I was like, and I also knew a professor couldn't cheat me out of an A. I could prove the answer. It was black and white. It was not up to someone's opinion. I needed something extremely cemented and concrete, which is why then I have a minor in finance and economics. And like, what are you going to do with a math degree? Everybody was like, are you going to be a teacher? Are you going to be a teacher? And God had asked me to be a teacher when I was in 2nd grade. I was like, no, I don't want to be poor anymore. So I found out what an actuary was, and you need a math degree to be an actuary. So I actually worked it backwards, and I was like, oh, I'll be an actuary. And I finally graduated from college. I get that piece of paper. I'm so excited to have this career. I'm a professional woman. I have my apartment. I bought my car. And even though it was a good offer, I cannot say I did not have a good offer. there wasn't enough money for me to have a savings enough for me to be able to buy a home. And that was my only next goal. I could buy a home and then I could take care of my mom, right? And then I could buy my mom a car. So I didn't have enough money to buy a home. Like I was like, oh my gosh, when's Mr. Right coming with his second income? That's all I kept thinking, right? Like I need a second income in order to save up enough money. And Miami is an expensive city, always has been. And I had actually started to let go of dreams that I had. I stopped thinking about being able to get my mom a car. I stopped thinking about retiring my mom. I just thought if I could just get a house. And I was invited to a Mary Kay event. I got a facial. I really could have cared less. I was a tomboy. I could have cared less about any of this stuff. But the girl teaching the party that day is the infamous Daisha Wiegand. And for those of you that don't know her, she's just amazing. And she was 24 years old. She was a retired school teacher. She had been working her Mary Kay business for 2 years, and she had made up to $17,000 in 1 month. And that's when my head spun around. I was like, I'm sorry. You just said that you put your blush on your cheeks and your lipstick on your lips and your eyeliner in your eye, and you make how much? I was like, I can do rocket science. This is not fair. Like I had a righteous anger come up in me. And I was like, give me that paper. Where do I sign? Like, I'm going to learn this. If you say, she said she was going to teach me and train me for free. And I just thought, I don't think I could ever do the makeup part, but I did believe in skincare. And I heard the 50%. But I have to tell you what convinced me to start the business is the residual income. I knew every day the customers would wash their face. Every morning they would put it back on their face. And the customers that I added today would be there tomorrow and reorder. And if I only added 10 customers a month in a year, I'd have 120 customers. And I was planning ahead. I was like, oh, maybe in 4 or 5 years, I'll be married and I'll have a baby. In 6 years, I could have like 700 customers. If I'm adding 100 a month, right? 600, 700 customers. That residual income should be enough for me to be able to stay home with my baby and not just 3 months of maternity care. I didn't want just the 3 months of maternity. I was like, I didn't want that. I wanted to be home with my baby. I thought, oh, what if this is how I could be home with my baby until they start kindergarten and then I could go back to work? I just saw the residual income made sense because they're like, if you don't go to work, you don't get a paycheck. But with Mary Kay, when you go to work, you make a customer and then you keep making residual income on the back in the background. And so she just said something super simple. She was like, this is your life right now. If nobody buys anything from you, what changes? It's like nothing. She's like, right, you have the same job, the same car, the same. But what if somebody buys something? What can change? And I just had a simple concept. I was like, I don't know who's going to buy this, but these girls in Miami care about the way they look. They're super cute. Someone will buy a mascara. Someone will buy a foundation. Someone will need a moisturizer, and I'll save it. And the day I go buy a house, I'll have more money if I start a business than if I don't. That's all. And I was building a future in order to have that residual income when I got older. When I had the baby and all that stuff. So to me, I did the analysis. I calculated the risk. It was risk-free to start. And there was a hope and a future for the dreams that I had. It was the first time in a long time I had dreamed. I hadn't dreamt in a long time. I had started to give up.
That's so good. Just walk us through, because there's so many, June for our guests is the end of our fiscal year. There's so many people watching that have big dreams, big goals. Some of them have had them for a while, and some of them maybe you just ignited some dreams right now that they forgot they had. And some people last night they prayed and today this could be their answer. So for you, hungry to do this, and let's just fast forward and say now that was 17,000, then your highest commission check in 1 month, over $37,000.
Yes.
Certainly that's not everyone's story. We know that, but this is your story. You own it.
Yes.
You've created it. What did you do when you started to go on and pursue full-time? What was your activity? How did you?
Yes. So because I was a tomboy, I actually didn't have a lot of girlfriends. And so when you start your Mary Kay business, they teach you always how to start with who you know and to book from your bookings. And I became I remember the first time I tried it, I was like, wow, this is good. Like, this looks good. She looks good. I hope you take that. I understood that the product was awesome and the opportunity is untouchable. Like, those were the two things I was like, you really don't have to work hard to sell Mary Kay. Like, it sells itself, right? And you don't really have to work hard to sell the opportunity. It's amazing. Who else is going to give you 50% and cars and commission checks and all that and trips and diamonds and all? Like, it doesn't exist. But I knew the one thing I'd have to work on was getting bookings for my bookings. And they would say, yes, I'll lend you my face again and invite friends. So I was all out obsessed with making sure that every party I left with more bookings. And Mary Kay Ash said, if you leave a party without a booking, you're leaving money on the table. And so I learned that. They taught me, they transferred the skill. And that was it. I was holding parties. When I started my Mary Kay business, I started with one day a week, Friday night. Then I moved to Friday night and Saturday night. Then I moved to Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night. And you guys are thinking, I don't have time for that. That's because you lack hope. Mm-hmm. The only reason we don't do more activities is because we lack hope. And because we lack hope, we feel like we need to rest and relax and watch Lifetime TV and eat popcorn. But I'm going to tell you something. When you go out on a Friday night and you hold a party and you sell $500 and you come home that night with $250, now you have inspiration and hope and you see a way out and you're motivated on Saturday to go do another party. And it's not that you lack time, it's that you don't see a way out. So you give up and you give in. And that's where I was. And I only know that because that's exactly where I was. I wasn't willing to do more. I had to see the results. The only way to see the results is to get into activity. So by the time I became a Mary Kay sales director with a full-time job, I was holding up to 10 parties a week. I did have a personal assistant at that time with a full-time job. But on average, I would probably say I would do 4 to 5 parties a week. I was profiting a couple $1,000s a month. That money went into my savings account to be able to buy a home. 4 months after starting my Mary Kay business, I put in an offer for a house, a brand new house, because I had $13,000 profit in my pocket after 4 months in Mary Kay. But I did not sit around and dream about it or think about it. I asked people to lend me their face. I did all the things they taught me to do. I booked a first appointment. I booked a second appointment. I asked them to invite their friends. I think it's amazing to watch. I'll tell you guys one of the things that hooked me, because this is inspiring. I didn't know what I was doing with makeup of people. I was like, please let me practice. I don't know what I'm doing makeup. You lend me my face. Let's play makeup together. And sure enough, some people taught me things, but I'll never forget. I did this one, Andrea's makeover, and I was cleaning up. And when I looked up, she was in tears. I was like, oh my gosh, are you okay? She's like, I have to say thank you. I didn't really want to do this, but I didn't know I could look this beautiful again. Thank you, a single mom. And that's when I realized makeup is not vanity. Like, you were wired by your creator, God, to want to look and feel beautiful. It is a unique identifier to a woman. We've all had crappy days, but we've all had crappy days where you look cute. And you catch your reflection and you're like, dang, thank God I look cute today. It's been that bad day, right? Or you just put on your lip gloss, or you're so happy you got your hair did or your nails done, whatever it is, right? We actually need that. And when you start to become the person that helps women look and feel confident in their skin, like that to me became so satisfying, almost addicting. Like I was like you become more encouraged to say, please, can I borrow your face? And they think they're doing it as a favor to you. And I knew at the end, they're like, oh my God, thank you. They're thanking me, right? They're going to thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Especially right now with all the choices women have. They have, product A from this brand, product B from this brand, product C from this brand. And what they've got is chemical warfare all over their face. They don't know how to use it. They've invested money that's down the drain. They can't get refunds. They can't returns. They don't have 100% guarantee. I cannot tell you how many new customers I have that I've picked up. They're like, thank you. I just needed someone to explain it to me A to Z. And I break it down for them. They're like, thank you. I'm like, it's so nice to talk to a human. It's so nice to just say, I need my foundation in this. It's just a human, right? Like you are a consultant, right? Like you have a consultant for your finances, a consultant for, you probably have a hair consultant, right? A nail technician, people that you trust, and you start to become that person's trustworthy professional, and then they refer you to other people. When you love on people, they want to share you. It's not very hard to be shared when you love on people, right? So that's how it grew, and that's what I was doing. But it's very hard to do that when you're just thinking about it, and so you got to get into activity. That's for sure.
I want you guys to type in the chat simple, because you make it sound simple, and it is simple. You simply went to work, and it's consistent effort, it's repeated effort, but what makes it new, different, and exciting every day is new faces with new dreams, new hopes, new possibilities. Just so good. Thank you for breaking that down. I want to talk about family and faith. Your family is so important. And I love Shane. I think I may have seen him in the background. So give a shout out to your man. And I know that you're a homeschooling mom, a leader, a wife, and a builder of hope. So just talk about your family, and particularly how you made the decision to homeschool and how you've been able to do that alongside this big business that you run.
Yeah, so we're just going to start our 6th year homeschooling this fall. Our daughter's starting 11th grade, so all her middle school and high school, and then our son starts 6th grade. So he started in 1st grade, and this is 6th grade. And so, I think one of my pastors, he explained it so simply. People say they live God, family, and then their career, but if you looked at their checkbook and their date book, it would say otherwise. And so what does your date book actually say? And, the word of God tells us that if you're a teacher, you'll be judged 10 times more harshly, right? Like I can't say something and then not go do it. Like I really do need to live God, family, career. And so what that meant, and career is not 33rd on the list, it's 3rd on the list, because without it, there is no bread and butter. There's nothing to pay for this home that I'm sitting in. And there's nothing to pay for my children's expenses and our dreams and our travel. And, and so it is 3rd. It doesn't slide down further down the list. And so, I believe that it's important to have convictions to roll on. Otherwise, everyone's going to roll all over you, right? Like convictions allow us to establish healthy boundaries and to be able to say our best yes and to say no without guilt and without remorse. See, there are so many things I say no to. Why? Because I've made a decision. Well, it's not that I'm just being obedient to what God has asked me to do. He's asked me to train up these children myself. That's just what he's called me to do. And so there are things that God calls you to do and to say, I will obey. Like I didn't obey in 2nd grade when he told me to be a teacher. And look, he made me be a teacher anyways. All I've been doing for 21 years is teaching women how to start and grow a profitable business. I've been teaching women how to take care of their skin. And now I teach my children, and not just at home with life skills and, for them to love the Lord Jesus with all their heart, but also I am their actual teacher. Like God knew. It's like almost like the joke's on you, Auri. Ha, ha, ha. I called you to it and you disobeyed, but now I'm like so obedient. So, that was definitely God calling us to do it. And it's what our kids need and it's what they love. It's not like they don't love it. And that's something I have to say is we're like, I could never homeschool my kids. And I was like, it doesn't look the same as school, like what you've seen. That's not what we try to do here at home. It is a very different experience. The world is their classroom. And I want them to be curious about everything and ask about everything. We could be driving down the road. My son will be like, Mom, that sign, that means this. We learned that in this. Like, I don't want school is not a book that you go through from beginning to end, right? School is the world. We learn everywhere. We do have curriculum that we go through. We do have a co-op that we're part of. There's a lot of excellence involved with what it is that they do. But at the same time, I want them to be hungry and to know God and to show God to the world. If you know God, you show God. It's an inevitable thing. Like if you know about something great, you can't help but tell people about it. And so that really is what God has called us to do. How do you do it all? I think it's conviction. Like this is the life I wanted. I wanted to be home with my children. I love Gloria Mayfield Banks always says, I started Mary Kay to get money and put my kids in daycare. Like that was what she was convinced. She wanted to put her kids in daycare, right? She had a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old at home. She was going crazy, right? I needed some me time. And you have to live out your convictions, what God has called you to. But I don't believe in letting our dreams go by without us going after them. To me, dreams are like our unborn children. Like your dream is so unique to you. God gave it to you. It's not something selfish. It's a gift that he entrusted to you. And now it's your job to birth it, to see it through to fruition. And so that's how I feel about this. I always wanted to homeschool, actually. My husband had said no, and then it worked out that we could. So yeah. So here we are. That's kind of like a builder of hope. I think that how do you wear so many hats? I am where I am when I need to be. That's it. And I say no to a lot of things. I say no to a lot of things. There's a lot of things I say no to. Because this is my commitment. I just say, this is not a season that I can say yes to that, right? And then you can't overcommit yourself because you have less margin. And so I think that women are very attracted to that. They want that life. I think what inspires them the most is when they meet my children. They're like, they're overwhelmed with how kind they are, that they look at you in the eyes, that they're conversational, that they have something to talk about, that they're interested in you, that they're not reserved or held back, that they're engaging. They're just held back. They're overcome by that. Well, if you want that, it takes effort and time, right? Like you steward what you want.
That is so good. I told you guys she's brilliant, and just type had a couple of things that you've just gotten from this conversation. A couple more questions. Brilliant in so many ways. Can you give just a couple of practical tips on how you manage? I mean, is there just whatever's new for you, an app? Is it a something? I mean, you always got something amazing. So what would be 2 practical things we could maybe put in practice to help us be good, wise mamas, all the things that we're going to do?
I have this thing, it's called Touch It Once, only touch things once. Just like a simple example of that. Like, I'm dying to take these shoes off, but they're not coming off my feet until I'm standing in my closet and they go where they go. They can't be here and then I have to touch them again, right? Like, I'm not going to open that pile of mail or sort through it until I'm ready to open it all and never touch it again, right? Like, everything has to go where it goes. Like, these are heavy earrings. These are not. But if they were, I'm not going to take them off until I'm standing in front of my jewelry box, right? Like, that allows me to keep an organized life when things run tight with less margin, so things aren't a mess. And so I love this touch it once concept. It really has been extremely helpful to me. Mary Kay Ash herself was the one who wrote about it in her book, but she related it to just paper. I've taken it to the extreme. I relate it to everything. Like, a minute before we get home, I'm like, kids, we're a minute from home. Start picking up your stuff. Nothing gets left in the car. There's no trash in the car. There's nothing left in the car. Nothing left in the car. Did everybody get everything? Like, I'm coaching them. Like, I'm like, when you walk through the door, take nothing off. Put everything where it goes. Empty your book bags. Put everything. Like, I'm like, right. Like, so this touch it once concept really allows us to have more freedom on the back end. It also teaches tidiness, which is next to godliness, and cleanliness, like all these things. I wouldn't say that I necessarily have an app, but I can give a tech tip. I don't have any notifications on my phone whatsoever. 0 notifications. If you are on fire and you're having an emergency and you dial my number, it will ring, just like if it was 1999. It's going to ring. And you're going to get me. Nothing of emergency is ever sent by text, ever. It's a phone call. So when I pick up my phone, it's because I'm ready to react to it. It was interesting. I was waiting for a call yesterday while I was at this resort, and I had turned on my ringer and my notification on that. And my phone had been sitting out there while I took a shower. And when I get out of the shower, my roommate, she's like, your phone has completely blown up. I was like, oh, what's happening? So I walk over to her. I was like, oh, no, that's just normal. It's just the silent button wasn't on. She's like, oh. I go, that's why that thing is never on. She was like, oh, right. And so if you live a full life, I'm here to not react to things. Right? I'm not here to react. I am active and proactive, but I cannot just react to things. There is a time that I can't pick it up and then react. So that's my big tech tip is if everybody, like, if my phone rings and it is my Mary Kay director, I know she's on fire, right? Otherwise it's a text and I'll get to it when I get to it, right?
I love it. And I love that here there's no cosmetic emergency. So I love that. I love that. So every once in a while we feel like there is, but
well, I mean, to me, if you don't have your foundation, girl, that is an emergency. But my customers know, like, if you need me, dial, don't just text. You know, my family, if they call, my phone will ring at any time, right? Like, right, like they're on that list where, you know, so. But I see a lot of people responding to everything like this. Well, you're being jerked around like this all day. You can't walk straight. Right? Like, I can't make a list of executables and actually get them done today if I'm being jerked around by my phone. So I don't have that. I don't have a cord.
So good. So good. Okay. So my last question, even though I got so many, is, well, I guess there's 2 last, but I do want to talk about faith. We take for granted, Auri, just having been here all these years, 90% of the conversations that we have backstage and everywhere is about our faith. You and Anthony have had great conversations. You've traveled the world. You've done mission work. You've done some amazing things. Just talk a little bit about how we take for granted a world where our faith is not separate. You know, you could walk in. I don't know what it was like as an actuary walking in, but here, I mean, prayer in our meetings is normal, and just, you know, talking about our faith and what we do in a way that's still professional. And, you know, I'm sure just like me, you have all faiths represented in your area and abilities and so forth, but just talk a little bit about that. How we are able to be a part of a company where Mary Kay Ash was a Christian who was bold.
Yeah, I love this question because I remember at my job, it was like, your family what and God who? You had to pretend you had no children, pawn them off, figure it out, like, for your job, and you could not talk about your faith. And so it's it's true. Like, you do not ever, tell your boss, oh, I have a religious thing or my children are sick. You figure it out on the back end and you show up to work, right? And so, wow, what a bondage. So it's such a privilege to be part of a company that is God first, family second, career third. And I remember when I heard that, I thought, how are these women making all that money living God, family, career? Like, I want to learn this. Like, it sounds good. And so I just want you to know, if you're thinking, I want to learn this, stick around, because you're going to be surrounded by women who actually live out God, family, career, and you're going to learn it. Like, it's a slow process, because I would say it's not like a textbook 1, 2, 3, or we would have done it. It's a visual. It's something that you see as you do life with these women. And so I learned that, and I'm so grateful for that. And it's such a blessing to be part of a company, because life is lifing, as the 20-something-year-olds would say. Life is lifing. And when life happens, there's nothing like having the freedom of saying, let's pray right now. I'm praying for you. Not just how is your aunt doing? How is your uncle doing? How's your daughter doing? But I've prayed for you. I'm prayed. Like, that changes everything, right? And I think like having those anchors in life, makes such a difference. And we see it with a generation that was not raised like that. And, like, as a generalization, and the anxiety that they have, and the high rates of depression, and the high rates of anxiety, and the high rates of suicide, right? It absolutely matters. And so you get to be this shining light. And so I love that we're able to live these priorities out. There's just nothing like it. I don't take it for granted. Neither do you. I know, Katrina, you open I always say, I'm going to close at the end with prayer. So if you want prayer, please make sure you stay on, right? Like, everybody has a choice. We're not forcing anybody, but I've had many women who've said, I've never had anybody pray for me. Thank you. I'm like, so we just can't take it for granted, especially if you grew up in that type of an environment. You don't realize how many people don't have it. It's such a blessing. It should never be taken for granted. And I just think, there are patriots who died in America for us to have that freedom. And so I have to use it, or we'll lose it, right? So
it's so good. So here we are. We are, bold in 2025. Mary Kay, we've experienced this business for decades. Why is Mary Kay relevant right now for us, with so many other ways I could be making money, so many things I can do? Why is it, as if I need to ask that question, because you've just given us 50 reasons, but just what else would you add to that?
Oh my goodness. So, yes, I've mentioned quite a few things, but I would say I don't see any other community out there that's boldly living out God, family, career. That's one thing. I also don't see many communities out there that have actual community where we meet and we do life together and we grow together. Like, that to me is like irreplaceable, and authentically doing life together. And it's not like we have to try to figure out what to talk about. You see, I think the business isn't just the way to make your dreams come true. The business is the tool that personally grows you into becoming the person you always knew you could be, because it creates the platform for your refinement process, right? You need challenges in your life for you to grow. Otherwise, you'll stay the same, because the human condition is naturally lazy, which is why there are very few people who step into employment and at the end of their employment journey, they're like, I've changed so much, right? That's not right. It requires challenge. Now, there are those people who have challenged themselves to change departments and change careers, and right, like, but most people, if given a raise every year, would just stay doing what they're doing, right? Unless if the circumstances change. Why? It's not because there's anything wrong with you. It's just the human condition is naturally lazy. So when you step into a role of being an entrepreneur, and you can still have your full-time job, the challenges grow you at a different level, because you're facing them at all times. And so, but also, not only is the challenge greater, there's no risk, but there's also more reward, right? Because you are making 50% of profit. You are building a business. You are building residual income. If you've inspired another person to join your team, then you're also getting love checks from that person, and they're making 50%. And they're telling you, oh my gosh, I was able to take my kids to Disney. Thank you so much for telling me about Mary Kay. You're like, what? I need to go do more Mary Kay. I need to go find more Mary Kay girls. There's people making their dreams come true, right? So like, it's this thing that draws the champion out of you, because there is no ceiling. That to me right there is why Mary Kay is the right place. And there's an epidemic of loneliness happening right now in our world. Not just loneliness, but also disconnection. And we are all about connection and gathering. That's what we do. We gather women. That's why we are necessary. That's why we are relevant. That is why we are powerful. And And that's why women want this at the end of the day. It's also such an easy business to learn. It's so simple. The skills are completely transferable. I have women on my team who've never graduated from high school, and I have women on my team that are board certified physicians.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What's the difference between one and another? Nothing. What's the common denominator? Hunger. If you're hungry and willing to learn, we can teach you. Mm-hmm. And so that makes you duplicatable. And there's so many things that are not duplicatable out there. And this is duplicatable, has been proven by 63 years of history, 40 nations, millions of consultants worldwide over the 6 decades.
Mm-hmm. So good. So good. I just want to say that we are going to do our drawing in just a moment, but I want to just share with you really quickly. Dorothy will make it. Thank you so much. Just some quick fun facts that we hit on. Yes, 50% of everything we sell is profit, comes back to you. You could be a brand ambassador. You could do a little bit. You could do a lot. Some people do in person. Some do totally virtual. Lots of people are hybrid. We're doing a little bit of this and that. No experience needed. You just hit on that. Flexibility all the time. I mean, we love the flexibility. Thanks for talking so much about that. Whether you want this as a hobby, a hustle, part-time, or you want to do this as your full-time gig, which a lot of people that work this full-time are not necessarily 40 hours a week, but this may be their, main source of income. But it's just a blessing to be able in this time to do not just this or that, but this and that. You could add this easily and effortlessly into what you're already doing. Dual marketing concept is what we do. We're not multi-level or network marketing, not pyramid-y, but we are the direct sales retail business. It's just that you get it from your consultant instead of getting it from your local department store, which lots of those in California and I know in Florida are closing and you can't find anyone. It's nice to be able to have a real consultant who knows your name, remembers your birthday and all the things. We're based out of Dallas, Texas. So you're buying American, supporting a women-owned business. Mm-hmm. And so collaboration, I mean, you talk so much about that. This is women encouraging women, and we are open for business for men too. I mean, literally, you're going to find every age and every stage as a part of Mary Kay right now. Rewards are thick. We are coming up on the end of our seminar year, so no doubt there's some people in the chat that are earning diamond rings right now and cash and trips, and some are on a quest for Budapest. We just got back from a world-class, all expense paid exclusive cruise. We were the only ones on the cruise from Alaska, which was unbelievable. We'll be talking about that for a long time, but we're headed to our seminar, which is unrivaled. Then we have our car program. Auri and I both roll in pink Escalades. And certainly, I mean, the top 2% can or 1% can choose to earn a car, but it could be you, right? It's not about how many. It's if you choose and do the work, it's there for you. A Trax, a Equinox, a pink Cadillac, or the cash, which is really exciting. Seminar is big, and this takes place in Charlotte, North Carolina. And what does it take to get started? It's $35, y'all. $35. It's an e-start, really simple. You just get started. If you're the person who wants a little bit more, you can start with our eStart Pro. You're going to get $400 plus of supplies and retail product that you really can experience and allow folks to experience. So either this or that, up to you. You could add the 90 to the 35 or just do 35. The most important thing is just start. And we want to encourage you to start in June because this is the best time, okay? It totally is the best time. If you've been on, you can grab the survey and just like we both have dogs. So I love that your doggy is like, it's time for you to get started. That's what he said in dog language. Okay. So you can go ahead and scan this survey if you're a part of our area, but anyone who's watching on YouTube, make sure that you let your beauty consultant know, or Facebook, make sure your beauty consultant knows that you are on. We're about to do our cash drawing in just a moment, and our next cash drawing is coming up. So just for being on today, you might win today, but you also get entered into our next cash drawing. So your beauty consultant can fill you in on all the things and mark your calendar. If you're not entered in the drawing, you can grab this, and that's how you get entered into the cash drawing for any others that are watching. But the next drawing is July 8th with Jenny Teagle. Y'all, these are so good. These pink table talks, go back into my YouTube. Auri, I know yours is going to be one for the ages that so many people are going to love listening. Just the one touch is going to be like go down in history. We're all going to be teaching our husbands. This is what we're about to do. So I just want to ask you, the last two things we do are cash drawing, but we have a product offer right now today, June 10th. What's your favorite product right now? Like right now? I'm seeing if you're able to hit the unmute and say.
Okay, lip oils.
Yeah,
I was typing it because I didn't realize that was lip oils.
I know.
I'm obsessed with them, and the brow kit from the spring, which I have right here. Both the lip oils and that brow kit are phenomenal.
Totally unbelievable. So I want you to talk to your beauty consultant. Those lip oils are limited edition. They're absolutely limited. You want to make sure you grab them. The brow kit is also limited. So your beauty consultant has it. Make sure you grab it. And we have a special for you tonight. When you get the lip oils, your beauty consultant is going to have a special gift for you. Grab the brow kit, a special gift from you. And also, because it's Father's Day, we want to encourage you also to check out our men's skincare product as well. So grab your men's skincare product, and you could get a men's cologne for $20 off. So you need some lip oils for yourself, a brow kit for yourself, and your man, your spouse, your spice, your daddy, your son. Somebody needs to wash their face with some Mary Kay and smell good. So we're ready to go. Dorothy, let's see who our winner is. Everybody is a winner, and somebody's going to get some cash from us. So let's see. I think we're about to. Delph. I love it. Patricia Brownfield, she is a leader in our area. Beverly Delph is her sales director, and her guest, I missed her guest name after all that because I took my glasses off. So Patricia Brownfield, your guest won. So excited. Auri, I just want to thank you so much. I mean, so much. I know we planned this months ago, and I mean, this is, we're here talking about our business, but whether women decide to join or not, I know they were inspired by your story or remember you. The one word I describe you is wise. You carry wisdom. I know you know that. You own your strengths, and you've just been tremendously blessed. And I thank you for blessing us tonight. So you guys just give it up for Auri, big time.
I love you, my friend.
For hanging out. I love you, and I can't wait to see you. Bye-bye.